First Spanish decision on the VAT treatment of the offer of NFTs. The Spanish tax authorities, STA, have given the primary decision investigating the value-added tax, VAT, treatment of the offer of non-fungible tokens, NFTs, that award the purchaser an option to utilize a fundamental computerized work of art. In this decision, the STA inferred that the offer of NFTs ought to be considered as a stock of electronically provided administrations and, assuming the spot of supply is considered to be the Spanish area, these deals are dependent upon Spanish VAT at the general pace of 21%. Because of the obscurity of NFTs exchanges, dealers could confront down-to-earth troubles in deciding if they ought to charge Spanish VAT to the purchasers. The STA have as of late given the main restricting decision, with reference number V0486-22, dated on March 10, 2022, which investigations the VAT treatment of the offer of NFTs in Spain. Foundation. As indicated by the realities referenced in the decision, the citizen is a person who sells NFTs on internet-based barters. These NFTs award the purchaser an option to utilize a basic advanced resource, for example delineations altered through Photoshop, however not a possession directly over this fundamental advanced resource. The NFTs are exchanged on an electronic commercial center, which intermediates in the offer of NFTs in the name and for the benefit of the merchant, and the vendor isn't given any private data of the buyer, who is just distinguished on the stage with a moniker. Examination of the idea of NFTs for VAT purposes. The STA address interestingly the idea of NFTs to decide if the exchange of NFTs is an inventory of merchandise or a stockpile of administrations, and the STA express that NFTs are digital authentications of validness that, through blockchain innovation, are connected to an exceptional advanced document, i.e., NFTs are computerized resources that can't be tradable together. The STA thinks about that, after the stamping of NFTs, there will be two different computerized resources. On the one hand, the fundamental advanced resource, which can be whatever can be carefully addressed, for example, a picture, realistic, video, music, or some other substance of a computerized nature, including masterpieces, for example, the delineations alluded to in the decision. What's more, then again, the NFT itself, which addresses the advanced responsibility for privileges over the hidden computerized resource. Tank portrayal of the exchange of NFTs. In view of their temperament, the STA preclude that the offer of NFTs can be absorbed to a cryptographic money or other computerized cash on the grounds that NFTs are not set up as monetary standards and are non-fungible. What's more, the STA consider that the offer of these NFTs can't be described as a stock of merchandise for VAT purposes given that the basic resource has a computerized nature, so the residency of the NFT doesn't give possession freedoms over an actual decent, yet a right of purpose over an advanced resource. In this manner, as the object of the exchange is that advanced endorsement of genuineness addressed by the NFT, no actual conveyance of the representation record is completed and the purchasers don't buy tweaked delineations, however non-modified outlines that, through blockchain innovation, are connected to a novel computerized document. The STA reason that the offer of NFTs ought to be described as electronically provided administrations according to a VAT point of view, compliant with the definition laid out by Article 7(1) of Council Implementing Regulation, EU, No. 282/2011. Spanish VAT treatment. The portrayal of the exchange of these NFTs that award the purchaser an option to utilize an advanced resource, i.e., a work of art, as electronically provided administrations involves that the Spanish VAT rate material to these deals is the overall VAT rate, i.e., 21%, instead of the decreased VAT rate appropriate to the offer of bits of craftsmanship, i.e., 10%. To decide if the merchant is obliged to charge Spanish VAT at the overall VAT pace of 21%, the STA depict the spot of supply rules, which depend on the condition, business or customer, and area of the buyer. Assuming NFTs are offered to an organization or to a person which is going about as business person for VAT purposes, the spot of supply will be where the purchaser has laid out its business, except if such foundation is outside the EU and the utilization and satisfaction rules are material. In the event that the purchaser is an individual not going about as a business person and the merchant is laid out in Spain, the spot of supply will for the most part be where the purchaser is laid out, has his/her super durable location or generally dwells. This fundamentally intends that, assuming the purchaser dwells in Spain, the deal would be dependent upon Spanish VAT. 2. Assuming the purchaser lives in another EU member state, the deal is dependent upon VAT in the EU member state of utilization, except if the €10,000 edge isn't surpassed in a given year. And 3. Assuming the purchaser lives outside the EU, the deal would drop out of the extent of Spanish VAT, except if the utilization and pleasure rules are appropriate. That's what we note regarding the electronically provided administrations situated in another EU member state, where the Spanish dealer ought to charge the pertinent nearby VAT relevant in the member state of utilization. The EU has presented an EU-wide enrollment conspire for administrations of this sort to work on the announcement and installment of VAT. Be that as it may, because of the secrecy of the exchanges with NFTs, in a large portion of the cases it wouldn't be imaginable to decide where the purchaser is based and, accordingly, where the available exchanges are done. The EU Regulation No. 282/2011 of March 15, 2011 gives direction and certain assumptions to the area of the client with regards to virtual exchanges, which incorporate the Web Convention IP address of the gadget utilized by the purchaser or some strategy for geolocation. However, even with these rules, it very well may be undeniably challenging for the dealer to decide the purchaser area with regards to the offer of NFTs. Last comments. This first decision in regards to the VAT treatment of the exchange of NFTs presumes that the offer of the NFTs that award the purchaser an option to utilize an advanced craftsmanship ought to be considered as electronically provided benefits and charged at a 21% VAT rate, instead of the diminished 10% rate appropriate to the offer of fine art, given that the deal is considered to occur in the Spanish VAT domain. Be that as it may, in the greater part of the cases vendors wouldn't have the option to recognize the area of the purchasers, so they would have to conclude whether they ought to demand data about the purchaser's area or in any case charge Spanish VAT at a 21% VAT rate. Besides, the finishes of this administering are pertinent, however restricted to the specific conditions of this case. Considering that NFTs can have as hidden resources either physical or computerized resources, and that the freedoms over these fundamental resources could be unique, for example from full possession to simply a right of purpose or IP freedoms, it is vital to break down the duty treatment of NFTs dependent upon the situation, on the grounds that the assessment treatment could be different relying upon the particular conditions. Subsequent stages. NFTs makers, financial backers and computerized stages ought to painstakingly examine the assessment suggestions got from exchanging with NFTs and, specifically, the Spanish VAT material on the offer of NFTs.